What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Battle Pack Series 46, Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the Bullet Club. I mean, just the club, not the other club. They're not affiliated with that. Wrestling jokes aside, here we do have Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows in the packaging. You can see it does say Battle Pack. It's Karl Anderson's first time in the line. Luke Gallows has seen some releases in the past, although I think they're just covering up, saying that it's his first ever time in the line. Other figures of this assortment do include Dean Ambrose and Shane McMahon, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods of the New Day, Miz and Maurice, and of course the club, Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Really happy I have these guys in hand. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get them open up, and then we'll go on to the rest of the review. So sit tight, everyone. And here we have Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows posing out of the packaging. Before we go on to the figures, I want to reiterate that most modern day battle packs, they're not coming with any accessories, and that's kind of a bummer because I kind of like accessories with battle packs. It kind of justifies buying a battle pack because you're spending $20 for the figures. But anyway, I digress. They don't come with any accessories, but we do get Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows, their first time in the line, with the exception of Luke Gallows, who has already had some Mattel releases. But I wasn't collecting at the time, so let's actually go on to Karl Anderson first. Let's go on his details, and then we'll move on to Luke Gallows. They did a really good job capturing the smirk of Karl Anderson here. I really do like the beard. I don't know if that's his chin or if his beard is just a little scruffy. I'm going to guess it's a little scruffy, but again, good likeness to Karl Anderson. Although on mine, the eyes do seem like they're painted a little too close together. Like, he looks a little cross-eyed on my figure, so that's a little unfortunate. We go on to his tattoo right here, which looks really awesome. I really do wish I could get more ink like this. Although the ink on my body would be, meaningful to me. But anyway, going on to his black wrist tape. It does say Anderson on his trunks. Something to note is that on mine, it kind of looked like they almost double printed his name. Or maybe they didn't print it right the first time. They wiped it off and then printed it a second time. Because you can see it does kind of have the E and the R right here, and then the D, so maybe it was a mistake. Who knows? On the back we have the club, quote-unquote, logo. And then he is wearing his hashtag Karl Anderson knee pads. And then we do get to his Karl Anderson boots. Other than that, nothing too spectacular about his attire, but I am really glad we have a Karl Anderson figure. And now let's move on to the big guy, Luke Gallows here. Moving the camera up. First thing I'm going to say is, although this does look like Luke Gallows, it also looks like Grumpy Cat. They just made his mouth too wide and he looks so sad. I mean, I know it looks like Luke Gallows, but he just looks kind of comedic because how big that frowny face is. Also, I feel like his neck is a little too high. Normally I complain about figures' head sitting too low. His is actually sitting a little bit too high, which there is a way to fix that. I just don't know. I might have to drill out some of his head, which I really hate drilling into figures. It's easier stacking cotton in the neck to give him a higher head, but we'll see what happens. Really do like his attire. I've always been a fan of Luke Gallows, and I'm surprised that even in his, third run in the WWE, they're not doing anything with him. Well, anything spectacular. Really loving the ink on his arms. I hope to one day have a sleeve like this. Not with all his tattoos, just stuff that is important to me. Really do like these tattoos here. And then we get the club emblem right here. We get that exact same design that we saw on the back of the back of his singlet right here on his pants. His belt is nice and studded. And really good paint job on the belt. We go on to his left leg that has the hashtag Luke Gallows on it. So really enjoying these figures, and I cannot wait to get an elite version of these guys. Hopefully soon, because I really do want an elite set of the club. Going down to his boots, nothing spectacular, they're just flat black. They kind of blend in with his pants, and if I know there's a way to make his pants a little glossy, because that's, I don't know, that's the way I kind of picture it. But anyway, that's Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson for you. Let's actually get a quick size comparison on the two really fast, and I don't know if it's me, but I feel like maybe Luke Gallows is a hair too tall. Because I know Luke Gallows is a tall guy, like maybe that would be a little closer, but as it stands, I think Luke Gallows is a tiny bit too tall, but then again, I think Karl Anderson could be on the short side here, so it could go either way. Because they are basic figures, they do sport the same articulation. And let's go over that really fast. They both have a head joint which moves up and down. Gallows has better upward movement and downward movement just because of how high his head is sitting on the neck. You can see right here, Karl Anderson doesn't really move up or down that much, or side to side. Luke Gallows pretty much has him beat on the head tilt there. Again, just something to point out really fast, you can actually see how positioning of how high the head sits on the joint does affect articulation. The higher it is, the better articulation we get. The lower it is, the less articulation. But anyway, they both do have ball jointed arms that go out to about that far each. They both swivel. They both have bicep swivel. Bend at the elbow, single joint, spin and bend at the wrist. No problems for either of them. Waist swivel, although it feels a little, I don't want to say gummy, but I don't want to turn Luke Gallows past that. For Karl Anderson is normal. It's just that Luke Gallows, I feel like there's might be some resistance moving it further than that, so I'm not going to bother. No articulation in the abs because they are elite figures, but their legs do go forward and back. They don't go out because, again, they are basic figures. They both have a joint, single jointed in the knee, boot swivel, and an ankle hinge, although Karl Anderson's hinge works a little better because it's not as restricted as Luke Gallows here. But anyway, that's the club for you guys. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get them posed for my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have the club posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do like these two figures, although I kind of wish that we would have got elite figures first, because I do kind of want to see what if they'll come with their entrance attire or not. An interesting weapon that would have been nice to give these guys is a chair or something to justify this purchase. Now, I did pick these guys up at Walmart, and Walmart is selling the battle packs for about $17.95, so I only paid about $20 with tax for both of them, so you can't go wrong when you're getting, two basic figures for about that price. I would have justified the $20 either way, just because it's the club and I want to have them in my collection. But as it stands, they are taking items out of battle packs, which is, I don't know, I want to see more things put into battle packs than taken out. And again, I think those stands are what's doing it. I really don't know. I don't know what goes into the Mattel's thought process when making figures. But anyway, guys, if you can find these guys and you want to have the club in your collection, you're going to want to pick these guys up. Again, found mine at Walmart, although I have seen this particular wave at Target, Kmart, Toys R Us, everywhere. So go out, except I haven't seen these guys too much. These guys were actually kind of tricky to track down. But anyway, if you can find them, definitely add them to your collection. And with that being said, I'm King of Dragons 5000 saying don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews. All my WWE reviews are also up, so go check those out as well. And while you're at it, if there's a figure you would like to see me collect, Let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. And until next time, I'm King of Dragons, guys, and I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. My dream.